It's been a long time since I've seen you, my friend. No? Okay. I am totally one of those people that sing at the top of my lungs during church service and I'm totally off key. And I don't even care because I just love lifting my voice to the Lord. But singing, I realize, is not my gift. On a serious note, I'm here to talk to you about just getting away to that secret place and the need to do that often. Last week was a rough week for me, and it was because I allowed the busyness of life to get the best of me. And a lot of the things that I was doing was great things. I was doing things that were ministry related. I was tending to my family. So it wasn't all necessarily bad, but I realized that I was pouring from an empty place. In Luke 5, it speaks about how Jesus would often, at Luke 5:16, would often steal away to a quiet, lonely place to pray. And we would often see that Jesus would emerge and he would do, many miracles and he would minister. But he did that from a place of overflow. And that was because he knew that he needed to remain in connection with the Father. And I feel like it's so easy for us to get busy and miss that quiet time with the Lord. So I wasn't going to bed last week like I should. I was up doing things that I felt were important, and it spilled over into the next day where I wasn't getting up. For me, first thing in the morning works best, and I wasn't getting up on time. And if I did spend time with the Lord, it was just like, oh, let me hurry and get through this. And, I just was going and going and going and pouring and pouring and pouring. And by midweek, I just broke because I was like, I can't, this is not something that I can continue on with. And I just had to okay, slow down, get back to that secret place. So I just want to encourage you. And, as I've said on more than one occasion, this is not about legalism. This is about what is necessary, right? Jesus is our ultimate example. And if we see him stealing away and getting away from the crowd to find that quiet time with the Lord, what makes us think that we can operate, right? And be effective if we're not doing what we see Jesus do? If Jesus had to steal away and have some quiet time with the Father, what makes us think that we don't have to do it? And let me just say this, because it's not that I wasn't filling myself with God's word, right? Sometimes when I was cleaning, I would have a message playing or something. But what I have found is that while that is wonderful, it doesn't replace me planting myself in the presence of God to hear from him directly. As I've said before, that should have been a supplement, but I was relying on that to be my main means of being connected to God. And he was like, you know what? As opposed to you listening to somebody talk about me, how about you come and talk to me so I can show you things? And I just, oh my goodness, when I finally was like, you know what, I don't care what's calling me, I just need to regroup and just get back to that secret place, it totally made a difference. And here's the thing where we can get caught up. It's God's grace will show up, and we can pour out and give great advice and pray and minister to people and still see the power of God show up. And if we're not careful, we can think, oh, you know what, I could still operate and not go back to that secret place because look, I pray for this person and God answered the prayer. And that's a scary place to get to, and we should never become comfortable with that. Yes, God's grace can show up, but we have to make sure that we're getting back to that secret place, because while he can use us, we need to make sure that we're in a place of being connected to him where our own souls and our own spirits is being fed by him. I think sometimes we can get a high from ministering to others, and we almost feel like, okay, well, that's kind of me spending time with God, since I was telling this person about him. And God is like, no, no, no. You know what? I'm going to use you to accomplish what I need to have accomplished. But that doesn't mean that you don't need to come to me to be filled up even the more, right? So I just want to encourage you, even in doing good things, even in doing ministry, to not let those things trump you sneaking away like Jesus did to that secret place to be filled up with him. Don't let anything, I don't care how wonderful it is, take that time away from just being in that secret place with the Lord. All right, I would love to hear from you. Leave me a comment below. How do you cope in busy seasons? Like, how do you stay connected to God? Is that a struggle for you, or do you feel like, you know what, it's so ingrained in me that I don't care what's going on, I can still press into God? What are some practical things that you do to prioritize getting into that secret place, especially in your busy season? I would love to hear from you. Be blessed.